Well, Chelsea have won the Club World Cup. I did not think that was going to happen, especially not that they would have to play PSG in the final, but they thrashed them 3-0. So let's take a look at how they did it. Welcome to Campfire Football. I'm Sebastian North. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's go ahead and break down this final and what Enzo Maresca and his Chelsea team did to beat the best team in the world in PSG. All right, so Enzo Maresca said that Chelsea, he felt, won the game in the first 10 minutes. That doesn't mean they scored the goals in the first 10 minutes, but they absolutely set the tone. And from then, they just kind of held on to the momentum, rode it through the first half, and that is really what we are going to look at today. So what we're going to start with here is Chelsea on the ball. Well, the first thing is Chelsea had 4 midfielders against the 3 of PSG. The other thing is Robert Sanchez was hitting long balls, and a lot of the time Chelsea would just sort of bypass the PSG press. They had very few passes in comparison, but were far more efficient going forward quickly. So right away you can see Sanchez here being pressured by Dembele, hits a big ball into the midfield. This take by Cole Palmer, I mean, that is just excellent. And then immediately Joao Pedro's running in behind. So that creates a huge gap in the middle. Here the ball from Palmer is like right into the feet of Fernandes, but then his pass into the run of Joao Pedro. Right away, Chelsea in the first 40 seconds go from goalkeeper into the final third. That gives them a nice boost of confidence. And they would just get a lot more of that in the first 10 minutes. Here, following a corner kick that they played short on the side, Cole Palmer, pressured by 3 players, is able to easily get himself out of that, find Reece James. Ball gets played to Pedro Neto. He gets to the byline and crosses. And right here, Cucurella just getting up and trying to nod the ball. That's not the easiest header to put on target. Colwill should have gambled like he did against Nottingham Forest on the final day of the Premier League season, and he would have had a tap in at the back post. They were also just having way too much fun getting through PSG because Chelsea played with a back 4, 2 holding midfielders, and 2 attacking midfielders. With Robert Sanchez, that just means that they can easily outnumber the 6 PSG players that are pressing. Ball here from Sanchez goes into Cucurella. He brings it down, immediately plays it to Enzo Fernandez. His turn to get away from Hakimi is perfect, and then right away, as he looks up, he's got Joao Pedro making the run in behind. Every single time they did this, they just built more confidence that they could beat the PSG press. Here you're actually going to see how disorganized PSG were in this scenario. Chalobah plays the ball across to Colwill, and right here, I don't know why, but Fabian Ruiz is sort of yelling at Kvaratskhelia. Vitinha's next to Reece James, but Joao Neves here just sort of gets caught ball watching and lets Caicedo run off the back of him. But this is just too easy for Chelsea. The ball from Colwill into Fernandes, and the player that is up marking Fernandes is Marquinhos, the center back. So this is just a little bit all over the place from PSG. The ball gets played to Caicedo. He steps over it, plays it out to Palmer, and look, it is a 3-on-3 for Chelsea. But one of the major things that would really deliver as the half went on, aside from just having the 4-on-3 in the midfield, was the position and the runs of Malo Gusto and how he combined with Cole Palmer to just cause chaos on this near right-hand side. First thing, Reece James checking towards the ball. He's got Vitinha running behind him. Joao Neves has given Caicedo way too much space. And next thing we're going to look at here is Cole Palmer. He's going to take a look right here, and he sees Malo Gusto on the right side. Clearly, there's something that's been spoken about here. Can Malo Gusto maybe occupy the attention of Fabian Ruiz? So the ball gets into Caicedo, and as soon as it does and he has time, Gusto just starts going forward. Fabian Ruiz takes a look over his shoulder and sees that Gusto is there, so he's got to mark him. But Cole Palmer has just wandered into the number 10 spot. Nuno Mendes didn't follow him, and actually here, Vitinha notices it, and he's like, oh God, I got to get back. Then you have the added benefit of Enzo Fernandez making these runs in and taking players with him. The ball goes back to Caicedo, and again, Chelsea have the numerical advantage. And 2 players get drawn into Reece James, and you've got Enzo Fernandez and Pedro Neto creating a 2-against-1 against Hakimi out there. So Fernandez gets it, turns, and take a look at Cole Palmer. I mean, completely alone. Fernandez into Joao Pedro, and then Cole Palmer steps up and hits it. But Chelsea were dominating this early stretch, and it's also because PSG, when they were pressing, they didn't have a holding midfielder. I mean, balls were able to just go into this midfield area. No one's there to block them. Joao Pedro's just picking it up in the center circle, turning, and Chelsea have a 4-on-4. So just 15 minutes in, Chelsea were building loads and loads of confidence in the attack. Now, what did they do defensively? Because this is the big question. How do you defend against this PSG team that has all these rotations and all these wonderful players in every single position of the field? Well, look, you have to be really diligent, and they man-marked and followed people. That is what they did. So here, Pedro Neto, when Hakimi plays this ball into Desiree Doué and there's the little flick around the side, Neto follows him. It gets played back to Doué. PSG find their way out of it, and they get the ball into Fabian Ruiz. But look, Chelsea are close by. Everyone is marked. Everyone has someone close to them. Ruiz plays it to Neves. I don't know why, but Neves not expecting it. It bounces off his foot, and Joao Pedro picks it up. So 1 minute and 20 seconds in, PSG's first build out, Chelsea press them and win it. That's how you build confidence. Now, the thing is, you've still got to be able to deal with PSG when people start to move in and out of positions like crazy. So this is a great example of what Chelsea did when you started to see a lot of these rotations happen. So here's Ousmane Dembele coming from the number 9 spot into midfield, and Levi Colwill following him. And he is following him all the way. He's not just going to leave him. It's only when Enzo Fernandez and him can actually communicate right here and say, hey, you got him, I've got him, let's switch off. Okay, no, let's not. They didn't switch spots. That is how you keep things organized. Now you can see Reece James letting Chalobah know, keep an eye on Ruiz. I'm going to keep things tight in this midfield area right here. Chelsea's left back right now is basically Pedro Neto because Achraf Hakimi has stepped up. Desiree Doué is coming across the middle because Ousmane Dembele vacated that space, so Cucurella is following him. Then Dembele makes another movement to go get the ball, and Colwill follows him there, and that's when it starts to go the other way. Here you can see Caicedo and Colwill sort of communicating with each other. Someone's got to take Joao Neves. He's running forward. The ball comes to Nuno Mendes, and Cucurella looks up and he's like, I'm starting to run across the center back area, and Desiree Doué's here. So what does he do? Well, he actually steps forward and puts Desiree Doué offside. This is clever. This is smart. You've got to make these quick decisions, and then you've got to reorganize. So now Colwill gets back. He and Cucurella have a quick discussion of who goes with who. Caicedo can now go and mark up on Dembele. So just the reorganizing here from Chelsea was really good. The only problem is that PSG are still so lethal sometimes that if you make one little mistake, they could punish you for it. And this was, in my opinion, the turning point of the match. But you can see Dembele on this near side, along with Fabian Ruiz and Kvaratskhelia. Chelsea are having to sort of funnel around. You can see Gusto looking, and he's like, yeah, I've got 2. Cole Palmer, you need to come back and help. Because Dembele is sort of in the wide area, Kvaratskhelia has gone to the center forward position, and his movement's going to be key here. Fabian Ruiz gets a little bit closer to Cole Palmer, and as Kvaratskhelia checks to the ball, Chalobah follows him. Exactly what the defenders were told to do. But Palmer and him should have figured this out. It probably should have been Palmer going to cover Kvaratskhelia, while Trevor Chalobah stays back and keeps the space locked up, because look at the room now between Gusto and Colwill. It's huge, and that's exactly the space that PSG want to attack. And Cole Palmer, ball watching, has let Fabian Ruiz get off his back. Nuno Mendes plays it to Dembele. He one-touches it over the top. Colwill's got to come across. The ball from Fabian Ruiz is exceptional. And now, this is a key moment. I think if Desiree Doué there really cocks his leg back like he's going to fire it and then chops it back to Hakimi, he could completely fool Cucurella, but he doesn't pull his leg back far enough. Cucurella reads it, blocks it, and Chelsea survive the one major opportunity that PSG created in that first 20 minutes. And then Chelsea would start to take over. Now, there's a couple things that were starting to happen a lot. One was the big ball from Sanchez over to Malagusto. You can see Malagusto right here, little flick of the wrist, I'm running, and then he takes off, and now ball is in behind. So Nuno Mendes at this point was like, whoa, the right back's going to fly up into this space. I got to be a little bit more careful. And Chelsea were getting a lot of joy from this because Gusto was wide open. I mean, a lot of the time, look how free he was. But because Chelsea had that advantage of 4-on-3 in the center midfield, there was always a place for them to go. And here, once again, Sanchez just goes big. And this time, Nuno Mendes makes a complete mess of it. I don't know what he's doing there, takes his eyes off the ball, gets his head on it, and then falls down. I mean, it's like it looks like he's just like, oh God, I just blew it. Well, the good thing for him is Gusto's not exactly the most lethal player in these positions, but he gives it to Palmer. Palmer from here, that's the outcome. I mean, Chelsea going up 1-0 was shocking, but then it would be 2-0. And this, a lot of people are probably going to say, oh, this is just sloppy from PSG. No, this is tactically brilliant from Chelsea, and it's them following through with the plan. So Nuno Mendes has this ball. Ousmane Dembele coming out to receive it. So they've got to do something, Chelsea, here, because Fabian Ruiz is part of the front line. Kvaratskhelia Kvaratskhelia is starting to run forward. Reece James comes back to help. Fabian Ruiz is going to drop in here, and Dembele plays him the ball. I mean, Chelsea did get carved apart a little while earlier by one of their center backs leaving his position and the ball going over the top. But here, Colwill does the right thing. He follows Fabian Ruiz in, and then he stays there. He doesn't just run back away and get back into his position. He stays there because he doesn't want Fabian Ruiz to just get it back and affect the play. And so Vitinha here doesn't really have anything. So he just gives it back to Dembele. There's not really anything on. So he sees that Desiree Doué is on the far side. Just like, hey man, send me in behind. And that's the ball that Dembele tries to play. Reece James reads it, blocks, and now as the ball squirts into midfield, they've got Enzo Fernandez, who was creating a numerical advantage. Joao Pedro's dropped in a little bit to help. And who's the other? It's Levi Colwill. And so he gets this ball back, and he sees Palmer tearing through. Tucks it into the bottom corner. And Chelsea are up 2-0. It's like, how is this happening? Well, the crazy thing is they just had complete control of the midfield in this game. And not just that, they were making it so difficult for PSG to know where they were going. It's like they out PSG'd PSG in a way. I mean, here, once again, it's Sanchez picking out Malo Gusto with the long ball. Yes, this time Nuno Mendes wins it, and he would win this next one as well. But you'll see this from Gusto. It's not an accident this was happening. Take a look. Sanchez has the ball. Watch Gusto. Does that little flick of the wrist again, takes a step with his left, and starts running. And Sanchez has that big ball in his locker. Now, the thing is that Palmer was not frequently able to find that space because a lot of the time Fabian Ruiz was close to him. But this time, Fabian Ruiz is marking Enzo Fernandez. And Vitinha and Joao Neves are marking on Caicedo and James, which leaves one midfielder open. And Beraldo was not about to chase Cole Palmer. And so Cole Palmer checks into this ball, and now he's got all the space in the world. Palmer turns, and now he can involve Gusto. So you get these long balls to Gusto, then Palmer is able to find a bunch of space. This is going to cause problems, right? It's exactly what happened on the third goal. Here it is. Gusto plays it back to Chalobah. Points for Chalobah to play it into Cole Palmer. Palmer gets it, and watch Nuno Mendes here. I mean, this is fantastic. He is furious with Kvaratskhelia because Kvaratskhelia just got played around, didn't turn and recover, and now Cole Palmer is turning and running at the PSG back line. Chelsea get into this position. Marquinhos is deeper than Beraldo. No one's really covering Joao Pedro when the ball gets played through to him. Vitinha just kind of let him go. The split is too easy. Donnarumma didn't read it. I mean, the whole thing's a whole mess, and Joao Pedro puts it away, and Chelsea go up 3-0. Now, I didn't really bother with the second half because, well, it didn't really matter. Chelsea did all of the damage in that first half, and though PSG improved in the second half, they played better, Chelsea were really just not that uncomfortable, and they were always able to provide a threat, and once players started to get a little tired, they just switched them up with someone else. While Pedro starts to run down a gas, they bring on Liam Delap, and he causes a bunch of chaos as well. As for PSG, it's been the best year in the club's history, so we're really looking to see, can they confirm? Or if Chelsea just kind of showing everyone the blueprint, here's how you beat PSG. Thanks for stopping by. I'm Sebastian North. This is Campfire Football. Take it easy.